Hello, happy July, everybody. Thanks for popping into the live stream, the fourth Thursday free reading live stream. So, tonight we're going to do something super fun. I've done this before on the live stream. I think I mentioned I had done the live stream for a while, then I took a rest, and then my healing master Anki Yaya told me to get busy again. So tonight I'm going to pull a card. Let me grab the deck so you can see. It's really the only tarot deck that I can understand. Hang on, I got to figure out how to get the comments up. Okay, I think I got it. So this is the deck. John Holland's Psychic Tarot. And it's pretty close to a regular traditional tarot deck, like the Rider-Waite. One thing it doesn't have the pages in all the suits, no pages, just what would be kings and queens. And it's added 7 chakra cards. So you might get a chakra card. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask your higher self, what am I going to do? Let me ask Anki Yaya. Yeah. To update all of your contracts, all the contracts that it has for you on the astral. And then once those contracts are updated, then I'm going to ask it, your higher self, to tell Anki Yaya, my healing master. You would think of him as a spirit guide. Thanks, Rob. Nice stash, he said. I'm going to have your higher self update your contracts and then tell Anki Yaya which card to pick out of this deck. And then Anki Yaya is going to plug into my hands and pick the card. Now, once we get the card, I wanted to get a message from your higher self. I knew that's what I was going to do this month, but I wanted to add the fun of pulling a card. So I probably will ask your higher self for clarification on whatever card it pulls for you. So now before we get going, I've got some fun links for you, all free. This one gives you access, if you don't already have it, to a lot of my free content. So let me put that up there. Hi, everybody. Thanks for popping in. I sure do appreciate it. And then let's see what else I've got. So yeah, that link signs you up for our email list. So you'll get emailed once a month, sometimes more, because I think I blasted this live stream a few times a month. Not enough to fuss you, though. If it does, you can just unsubscribe. But when you do sign up for our email list, there's tons of free content that you can access. Here is, if you or someone you know needs a healing, my advanced clairvoyant students do free healing requests. You might think of them as a prayer list. Okay, so that link for 3PT virtual, that one is a healing request. Hang on, I got more. If you think you might meditate, oh my gosh, I remember before I took my training, I would try to meditate, and because I thought I should. So I would just sit there with my eyes closed. Of course, I just kept thinking about a bunch of stuff. But if you want to do, it's really energy work. Here's some free classes. Hang on. That you can play with. And then let's see what else I've got. Okay. If you're a light worker, and I'll bet every single one of you that's on this stream. Otherwise, you would be watching Netflix right now. If you're a light worker, there's a light worker survival guide that I created on Golden Rose's main website. If you're struggling with what's happening in the world when you look out at it, you might want to click that resource. There's some free stuff there too. And then finally, and then I'll leave you alone. If you would be so kind and you haven't yet, and you'd like to review Golden Rose and myself, here's a link to post a review. Okay. All right. Now, let's get going. I'm ready to play. So let me are we ready, Ankiya? Okay. So Ankiya is going to do a few little things here real quick. What he's doing is he's well, I'll just tell you. He's setting the energy for you. Wherever you are, setting the energy around you so that, I don't know, I guess you can hear what I'm saying and benefit from it maybe. Anyway, he said we weren't quite ready, but now we are. Okay, so let's spin the wheel of fortune. Hope. Hi, Hope. I see you put hi. Okay, now we're going to send Ankiya over to your higher self, have it complete. We'll have it complete as much karma as it will, and then update your contracts. That's one of the main healings I do for myself. I don't do it, he does. But complete karma, update your contracts. Okay, so your higher self is ready. Ankiya is going to confer with it, and I'm going to shuffle. Okay, now he's going to plug into my hands, and he's going to pick a card. And again, this is really coming from your higher self, Hope. Heartache and loss. I pull this one all the time. I'm like, oh crap, this one again. Okay, so let's see what your higher self has to say about it. Some of your heartache and loss isn't yours. You're running it for some other people. This, of course, is the empathetic healer in you. So I've got a suggestion. Okay. When you're feeling a little bit down or fussy or feeling a way that you don't like, whether it's anxiety, fatigue, maybe you might look out at the world like some of us do and go, oh, right. Try this. Since your higher self said that not all of it is yours, as soon as you feel it, go, okay, if any of what I'm feeling right now isn't mine, if I'm trying to heal it for someone else, let it go down my grounding cord and see if you feel better. So let's talk grounding cords. Everybody's always grounded. What happens is our first chakras, the root chakra, is grounded into the center of the earth. So we're all grounded. You might think of a grounding cord as a hollow tube that you're sitting on, and it's about as, maybe you could imagine, it's about as big as a dinner plate and just sit right up there. So everybody's always grounded, but you could ground with intention. And that would be to close your eyes, drop your old grounding cord, create a new one that connects you to the very center of the earth. And then I like to put a button on mine, and because I'm a button pusher, a big button like this right under the chair, and then I just push it and I feel a downward pull. Probably another good analogy is flushing the toilet. Okay, so Hope, when you're feeling heartache and loss, and again, if anybody's looking out at the world, you may feel that a lot. Just make sure it's your own. Okay, so I have this one story that I tell. I'll go into the bathroom and I'll look at myself and I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I'm like, wait a minute. I know my mother absolutely hates herself because she tells everybody all the time. So if this is really my mom's self-hatred, let it go down the grounding cord. And more times than not, after I just kind of take that intentional flushing of the toilet, and then I look back, I'm like, there you are, you handsome devil. so, so hope. See if that works for you. Okay. Of course, we all have heartache and loss, but we don't need to run other people's heartache and loss and try to heal it as if it was our own. So give it a go. Yeah. So I hope that helps you. Okay. Terry, Terri, Rourke, I believe. Hi. Thanks for being here. Okay. Off Anka Yaya goes to your higher self. Ask it to complete as much karma as it will and update your contracts. And then Ankiaya will confer with your soul. Soul's another word for higher self. I like higher self better, the term. Okay, we're ready. Okay, so let me shuffle. I think for those of you that have followed the live stream for a long time, you know how I feel. It's like the Academy Awards, opening the envelope, because I never pull cards except for me. So, okay, here we go. Terry, here we go. Ooh, a money one. It's a money one. It says financial and material changes. Boop. Okay. So let me ask your higher self. You know what? This would really be a good time for you to, I might say this, get your finances in order. Find out how much you're spending. Oh, doesn't anybody hate doing that? How much you're spending on, and I don't know about you guys, but remember back when we had checkbooks? Boy, I'll tell you, I balanced that checkbook every single month. And now that everything's debit, of course, all my business accounting goes to an accountant who catches stuff. But my own personal, I never look at that statement. Never. So anyway, and what I think your higher self is saying is, not to be afraid, but just to understand. All right. And there might be some things you can streamline. Like, for a while I had two Microsoft accounts, and I would get so confused, right? I was paying for two of them. Ugh. So it might be something like that, where you're duplicating things. So in that regard, getting a handle, I don't mean a handle, knowing where your money's going, right? That's the first step that your higher self, or maybe that's what your higher self meant with the changes to your finances. First, understand them. And I know nobody likes to do that. I was just listening to somebody on NPR talking about retirement. And that's the first thing she said, is like, figure out how much you're spending. And then she goes, probably half of you turned the radio off right now. So I know it's not fun. But at least check out your bank statements if you're not. Do better than I do. Yeah. I don't think it's like, oh my gosh. No, I don't think so at all. I think this, by focusing your awareness on your finances, more finances come. But to be like me and go, oh, right, may not be the best thing right now. Okay. And again, no worries. There were no worries. Okay. Sandy Dew, how are you, my friend? Thank you for popping in. Now we're going to find your higher self, complete karma, update contracts. All of your higher selves are very diligent with their contracts, I can tell. And I'll talk more about that if I remember. Okay. Unky Yaya says we're ready. So here we go. Discontent and boredom. Oh my gosh. Discontent and boredom. Okay. I do think, let me just talk to your higher self. Okay. More adventures. Okay. You know what I might do if I got this reading? I'm not going to, do some wild thing. I might just set my intention in the morning that something special is going to happen today, right? And then be on the lookout for it, right? I was just talking to a client today. Oops, I dropped a card. I was just talking to a client today about child energy. Remember when we were kids and we didn't know that some things were impossible? Right? Every day was a new adventure. Something new happened. Oh my gosh, I've never experienced this before. And then we get older, we get complacent. We're like, oh God, not another day in the rat race. So, Sandy, it might be like even if you're commuting, of course, I live in Southern California. I don't commute anymore, thank goodness, but you can imagine what it's like, right? So you're like, oh gosh, I have to get on the freeway again. Well, maybe say, okay, I want to see a license plate that means something to me. So play those little games with yourself, spice it up, right? Another suggestion, and I know those of you that hang around Golden Rose a lot have heard me say this before. If you're going to go on a walk, tell your guides and angels to put a treasure on your path and look for it. Maybe it's a rock or a toy that you might find. This one place I lived when I would garden, I was a big gardener then. I would always uncover toys. Whoever lived there before must have had a kid. I find all kinds of fun toys. So anyway, spice it up, right? Mini adventures, not Many, Mini. Yeah, mini adventures. Yeah, yeah. I hope that helps you. Okay, Christina. Hello, my friend. Okay, off Ankiaya goes. Let me find your higher self. Okay, your contracts were updated. They were already updated. Okay, let's go. Shuffle. Let's see what you're going to get. And the winner is. Ooh, I like this one. Partnerships and alliances. And by the way, I know it doesn't really come through on this, but this is a spiritual card. The frame is purple, so this is the spiritual suit. So let's see what it's your guides and angels. That's what it is. I like that. Let me talk to your higher self about that. You know, maybe acknowledging them more often. I like to keep mine right on the outside of my aura, and they have little platforms or pedestals that they stand on, so I know right where everybody's at, right? And I interact with them through the day, especially if I'm fussy. So so remember when I said that your contracts, when I watched your higher self update your contracts, they were all updated, right? Um, I the way I would take this reading, of course, you take it however you want to, but it's probably that the contracts with your guides and angels have maybe there's new ones, right? And for those of you who think, well, gosh, I want to know who my guides and angels are, right? You know what I suggest? Maybe pick three, either archangels or ascended masters that you can read on the internet. Put two behind you and one in front of you. Your aura is arm's length away. So put one arm's length away back here, and one in front of you. You pick them. Look at them on the internet. See what you have an affinity for. And just start to talk to them. See, the reason that ascended masters and archangels are ascended masters and archangels, because they work with everybody. That's why. Okay. They're willing to sign a contract with all the higher selves that are incarnate on the earth plane right now. So I know maybe some of you are listening. Well, how do I do that? pick them and start talking to them. Have them talk to you. Here's a good tip on talking to spirit guides. Let's say you put one back here, and one in front of you. And you pick, right? That's the Archangel Michael. Okay, fine. Archangel Michael stands in front of you. And you want to be able to communicate. Start by asking questions that you don't care the answer to. Archangel Michael, what's your favorite color today? And you don't care. And he's going to change it every time you ask the question. But what you're noticing is how you got it, and you'll get it instantaneously. Did you think you heard it? Did you see a flash of it in your mind's eye, or did it just drop into your head? Okay, I got that. Archangel Michael, if you could eat food right now, what would you eat? I don't care, but how did I get it? Did I get a mental image picture? Do I think I heard it, or just with the first thing that came into my head? And this starts to let you know how that particular spirit guide can activate or communicate with your three most psychic chakras. And then once you've asked, what's your favorite animal today? Right? Once you're used to how you're getting the information, then you can ask questions that you do care the answer to. That's the easiest way to do it. People think that being psychic is this unbelievable experience, and sometimes it is. But really, we get so much information from outside of the five physical senses. Like if I ask Archangel Michael right now, what's your favorite month of the year? Well, I got a month. Maybe you did too. But I didn't feel it. It didn't vibrate my eardrums. It didn't hit my optic nerve. It didn't hit my smell receptors or my taste buds. But I still got information. That's psychic. Now, of course, you're going to think you made it up, right? That's what you're going to think. Oh, did I just imagine this? Well, you didn't stop and go, gosh, I wonder what month it could be. January, February, March. No, it just a month came to you. That's psychic. Okay, so Christina, partnerships and alliances with your guides and angels. So talk to them more. Bring them more into your life. Yeah. You could sit down to stream a show and say, hey guys, bring a show up that for some reason would be beneficial for me to watch. And then just look at them, the show that you seem to have an affinity for, give it a go. Okay, you guys got it. Okay, this one is Christine Maria, not Christina, Christine. Okay. Marie, Christine Marie. Okay, off to your higher self. Okay, we're ready. Ooh, suffering in silence. Well, these are some heavy cards. Oops, there you go. And the blue frame is mentality. Okay, so let's see what your higher self says. I don't think it necessarily means that you are suffering in silence or that you should start blabbing about what's caught in your craw, like my grandmother would have said. But it might be journaling. That's what I think. And it's not, pardon the expression, a bitch fest. I don't think that. I think it's a list of, and it is a list of improvements you'd like to make on yourself. And I think in sitting down and writing a list of how you would like to improve yourself, that once you make it, if you looked back at it, you'd be like, well, why have I been suffering in silence? I mean, these things will move me forward. You know what? Maybe go back to some of the things you were doing during the pandemic and add to them. So write down not what you're dissatisfied with, although they may cross over, but how you want to improve yourself. And I would take more than one stab at it. You guys are going to think this is funny, but probably not coming from me. I have a journal where I record what I don't know. And the first thing on that list is I don't know what I don't know. But it really makes you think. What is it that I don't know? So it does take some time and to go back to it and go, well, why didn't I write that on there? Or why didn't I write this? This is totally obvious that I don't know this. But for you, it's how do I want to change myself? And be gentle, right? I want to be happier. Like a few readings ago, I want to have many adventures every day. Okay? So that's what your higher self meant about suffering in silence. It doesn't mean to go back and think about all the terrible things that might have happened or didn't happen for you. It's just a list of improvements you'd like to make and contemplate it. Maybe give yourself more than just, okay, I'm going to sit down and write 10 things. Okay, blah, I'm done. Go back to it. Think about those things again. And you know why? As I pull at that thread, because some of them, when you write them down, you've already accomplished them. You just don't see it that way. Isn't that interesting? Your higher self just said that. So anyway, it's a energetic experiment, maybe a mental experiment. So I hope that helps you. Have fun with it. Okay, Tammy Stanton. Hi, Tammy. Thank you so much for popping in, my friend. I sure do appreciate it. Okay, off Unky Yaya goes. Your higher self's smiling and laughing. I like your higher self. Okay. It's whimsical. Okay, we ready? Yeah. Oh, we did get a chakra card. Third chakra, solar plexus. There we go. That's the place where if you get hit in the tummy, it knocks the wind out of you. That's the solar plexus. The information that's held in there is first and foremost your self, how you feel about yourself, your ego. Now, I know in a lot of the spiritual realms here on earth that ego is a bad word. My experience is that most people who are attracted to metaphysics and spirituality, they don't have excess of ego. They're deficient in ego. So ego means sense of self. So when we hear the word ego, we think about all these egomaniacs, entitled people, right? Who think, it's the world according to them. Well, none of you feel that way. You might every once in a while if you can muster it, but you can't hold that, right? So let's see what your higher self says about the solar. Oh, I forgot to tell you the other things in it. So it is the sense of self or ego. It's how well we set boundaries, and that goes hand in hand, right? Low self-esteem, lack of ego, low boundaries. Believe me, I know I'm the poster child. um, and work, career. The third chakra can be very competitive. Yeah. So if because we all live in capitalist countries, we have to compete for jobs. So our career information is in the solar plexus. If you lived in a tribe or a commune where everybody worked and then everything that they created was divided, then our work would be in the heart chakra because the heart chakra is relationship chakra. Okay? So let's see what it is for you, Tammy. Let's see what your higher self says. It's definitely low self-esteem and um, difficulty setting healthy boundaries. And again, that's all of us wounded healers. That's it, right? So let's see who's going to talk to me. I think they're both going to talk to me, both your higher self and Ankiya. Ankiya stands behind me so he doesn't get in the way. Let's see what your higher self says. Yeah, this is really about your self-love. Yeah. Let's see what Ankiya says. He says, work on it every day. Okay. I was going to tell you something and I wasn't sure if I should everybody. And he said, yes, say it again. So I'm going to say it again. I used to think self-love was an emotion. Like I'm walking down the hallway of my house and I'm like, man, I feel really good about myself. I have self-love. And because that was what I thought it was, I thought I don't ever have it. I don't have self-love because I don't ever feel that way. I might have this millisecond where I feel everything's going really well. Like, oh, yeah, oh, it's over, right? But Anki Yaya has helped me understand that if I redefine self-love not as an emotion but as an action. I've said this so many times, that's why I didn't know if I should say it again. And he said, yes, say it again. Maybe because I need to hear it. So maybe we could reframe self-love into actions. Maybe you could try that, Tammy. When he said work on it every day, I always use flossing my teeth. I don't want to floss my teeth tonight. I don't want to. Oh, wait a minute. It's an act of self-love. Okay, I'll do it. I love myself. I love myself. Okay? So try that. Right? Every little thing that you do for yourself, if you take a supplement or if you're, eating a healthy meal, right? This is an act of self-love. Yeah, try it. That's why I always say energetic experiments. Just see if you can put a little post-it note on your bathroom mirror and your refrigerator for a week and see if you can muster some and see how it changes. Maybe the changes will be subtle. So try it. I would. I do. Yeah. So now I don't think I don't have self-love. I don't think I understood what it was. So I hope that helps you. Okay. Kristen. Boy, we got a lot of Chris's here. Kristen Richter. Something like that. Please forgive me. I can barely pronounce my own name. Okay. Off he goes. Okay. All right. Are we ready? Okay, he said we're ready. Let's do it. You know what I was saying about being psychic? That how you get information without using your 5 physical senses. The only difference between me being psychic and you being psychic is that I've done it over and 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 over. Right? Like when I look at your higher selves, they could be doing anything. Right? They could not even be looking at me. I've seen higher selves not even look at me when I'm reading. I'm like, hey, right? But So the experience is always different, but I've just done it so many times that I believe what I'm getting. So, and when I ask Uncle Yaya, are we ready? So this is the amazing way that I communicate with Uncle Yaya. I said, are we ready? He goes, yes, Loren, we're ready. Okay, here we go. Pick a card, any card. Ooh, ooh, this is the reading of the night. Are you ready? Love begins. This in the traditional deck, of course, is the lovers. Okay, let's see what your higher self says about love. Okay, it wants you to delve into love. What is love to you? Yeah. I remember I did something, I can't remember what. Maybe in one of my focus groups, maybe in my current events healing meditations, maybe in a workshop where I looked at the Greek words for love. I think there's 7. Some said 5, I found 7. Because you know what? Love in English, I don't speak any other language. Like I said, I barely speak English. I feel like sometimes. Um, I love to play racquetball. I love my cats. I love my parents. I love working out. They all mean something different. I'm romantically in love, right? I love Anki Yaya. I love myself, right? So the word is not descript enough. So when I did that research on the Greek words for love, um, each one of those examples that I gave, there's a different word. So I think, Kristen, it might be time to redefine love for yourself. You know what it means. It is a very mystical thing, especially in English, because it means so many different things. So maybe start this survey of love by going back to the Greek words and see what you get. Yeah, let's see what else your higher self says. Oh, this is interesting. Play with the energy of love. So it's kind of like self love. Remember how I told you I thought it was an emotion, but it's not? I wonder if you meditate, and if you don't, you might want to go back to those links I put up there. The one that's called Getting Started in the URL, it says Getting Started, right? That's a series of energy tools, is what it teaches. So run an energy named love and see what it feels like. Yeah. Um, and this leads us to unconditional love. I do think I might understand that one. It's neutrality. That's what I think. Like, I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what your color your skin is. I don't care what you eat. I don't care who you hurt. I don't care who you love. I don't care. I'm neutral. I think that's unconditional love. Of course, Homo sapiens can't do it. We got opinions about everything. Anyway, Kristen, explore love in all of its forms. And then just generically, if you decide to download those free classes, when it says to pull up an earth energy, pull up a love energy. When it says pull down a cosmic energy, pull down a love cosmic energy and just run it. Anyway, more energetic experiments for you guys. Homework, homework, homework. I hope that helps you. I do love the card. Sue! Hello, my friend. Okay. Let's see. Well, your contracts were very much updated too. And the rest of your higher selves are diligently working on them. I will comment on that if I remember after Sue's reading, because I said I would. Okay, you got 2 shuffles. Okay, let's see. Oh, my friend, I love this one for you. Rest and rejuvenate. And again, you guys can't see, but this is a blue frame, so it's mental. Okay, let's see what your higher self wants to add to that. It's pretty self-explanatory, but let's see what it says. You use the 4 elements. I know you're a water, right? I know you've been really enjoying water. The 4 elements are earth, air, fire, and water, right? And this goes back to all the lifetimes we had, pagan, all, they're all about the seasons and growing crops, for heaven's sakes. Earth, air, fire, and water. Your higher self is saying to intentionally combine the 4 basic elements in your rest and rejuvenation. Yeah, and that's fun. I love stuff like that. Going back to the, having adventures, don't you guys think that living in the magical world, like I was saying about kids, right? Anything is possible. Isn't this world so much funner than the other one? Ugh. And even as we were participating in the normal life, we mix our magic into it. So, earth, air, fire, and water, rest and rejuvenate. Super fun. Okay. I hope that helps you, Sue. Okay, let's spin the wheel. Who haven't I read yet? Let's see. Ollie, that one guy. Okay. All right. So off Ankiaya goes. I like your higher self too. It's wearing a hat. I like that. Okay, let's see. All right. It says it's ready. Ankiaya, are you ready? Yeah, okay. Okay, here we go. Ooh, this might rate right up there with Love Begins. Material harvest. If I remember, in the red frame, I haven't told you guys, it's the earth and body. Yeah, it's that suit. I think this is the most beneficial material card, if I remember. Yeah, I love when I pull this one. So let's see what your higher self says. Okay, this is a literal message that your higher self is writing contracts for money. So let me talk to Ankiyaya about that. Okay, he's going to come and give you a healing so that you can find those contracts. And this is what the path of finding that money looks like. So this is now, and this is later, going up. Okay, jump, 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 jump. That's what the path looks like to get to those contracts. So I'm assuming that that means it's not one source. Make a little over here, get a little over there, get a little over here, right? But the important thing, well, I'll say this. Nothing can happen without a contract. Just because there is a contract doesn't mean you'll do it. You might be unconscious. You might be afraid of when the opportunity arises. And again, being unconscious means you didn't even know the opportunity was there, right? So it all starts on the astral with higher selves creating contracts. And if that's not happening, there's nothing anybody can do about it. Anki Yaya does go over and try to counsel higher selves and go, hey, what do you think about writing contracts for this, that, and the other, or changing this contract or destroying that contract? It works about 3 to 5% of the time. Higher selves know what they're doing, right? So you got that, Ollie. You got the contracts, right? Now, for you, it's to find those opportunities, right? Yeah. Now, if you decided to download those classes that I was talking about, what you would do is, and this won't make sense to you unless you download the classes. So pull up an earth energy that matches you to those money contracts. Pull down a cosmic energy that matches you to those money contracts. Do that every single day, and guess what happens? You'll find those money contracts. This technique, let me say it differently. The law of attraction is on the earth side, right? But without a contract on the astral side, you're never going to attract things that your higher self isn't interested in creating, right? So that's why sometimes the law of attraction works and sometimes it doesn't. Like if I told my higher self, or no, I take it back the other way around. I'm going to attract a lottery winning to me. I'm going to win the jackpot. I'm going to do whatever the law of attraction says I need to do to attract that. Well, if there's not a contract for it, you're never going to get it. So that energetically matching your highest and best contracts, right? Even though you don't know what they are, but in your case, Ollie, you do. It's money, and not just money, right? All kinds of resources. Yeah. So, okay. I hope that helps you. All right, let's spin the wheel. Sonia, hi, my friend. Oh my goodness, Sonia, I haven't had a chance to read for you in so long. Okay. Most of your contracts were updated as well. I forgot to talk about that. Okay, yeah, you remind me after this to talk about that. Okay. You ready? Okay. Oh, I like this one too. Spiritual strength. Look at the card. Who do you think that is? I think it's their higher self. That's what I think. Okay, let's see what your higher self says. Okay, it wants to commend you on being an authentic representation of it. Yeah, and I know you've done a lot of work. I know it's been your life's work to heal yourself and others. I know that, but your higher self just wants to take this time to say that you're really doing a great job and you do embody the authentic aspects of your higher self. Often you do. I got when you're playing your music. Yeah. So keep up the good work, I guess. Okay, now I'm going to tell you about the contracts. So you might wonder, what does it mean to update a contract? So this is the best analogy I have. To our higher self, the earth plane is a video game. You're the avatar that it picked. The way it plays the video game is through writing contracts and negotiating with other higher selves to have events happen on the earth plane. Okay? So, How could it be that our contracts need to be updated? What does that mean? Okay, so I'm sitting in my living room and I'm playing a game on my game player. I don't play. My roommate plays. She's always playing some kind of video game. I never do. I play kid games on my computer. But let's say I'm, playing this, I'm all into it, right? I'm actively playing the game, right? And then all of a sudden you knock on my front door. And I put the controller down. I go over and I'm standing there talking to you for, 10, 15 minutes. Okay, bye, friend. See you later. I come back to my game, and guess what? The character died. The avatar died, if it's one of those games, right? So, higher selves have day jobs. I don't know what they are, right? But that is the real world. This is the virtual game, the virtual reality, right? So there's other things that your higher self does besides playing video games. So when I look over and ask your higher self complete karma, which are contracts from other lives that is trying to carry over, usually to no avail, hey, get rid of those old contracts. And then if any of the present contracts are based on that karma, update them, right? So every single time I looked over, either your higher selves are like, psst, psst, I'm updating contracts, I'm actively playing the video game, or they said, I already updated them all. That's exactly what I want. Now, you also heard me say that sometimes I look at higher selves and they don't even look at me. Now, when you book an appointment with me, the main source of the information, just like in this live stream, is your soul. It's the one who's creating everything, right? So it's the main source. So, of course, somebody that would book with me, their higher selves are very advanced. They're very attentive, right? But let's say you book a reading and you bring in Aunt Susie. Hey, Loren, could you read my Aunt Susie? Sure. Let me find her higher self on the astral. Wait a minute. She's not even looking at me. She's not even looking at the video game. Right? So, not all higher selves are created equal. So now that explains to you all why when I look over, oh my gosh, they're so diligently updating contracts, or, oh, they're all up to date. But they are all paying attention. Of course they would be. Okay, let's see. You spin the wheel of fortune. Savannah! Hi, my friend. Okay, off he goes. Okay, everybody's ready. Drum roll, please. Oh, we got a duplicate. I wonder what yours means. We'll have to get to the bottom of it. Love begins, Savannah. Okay, let's see. You know what this is? What type of love your higher self means? I'm not sure what the Greeks would call it. I'm not sure if one of their definitions fits this. But it's the closest in my experience on this planet. It's the love of a pet. Now, I've never had children, right? But I would intellectually think there's quite a difference between the love you have for your child and the love you have for your pet, right? My cat can puke on my carpet, and they do, and I love them. If you came to my house and puked on my carpet, I would not appreciate that. If my roommate puked on the carpet. I would not appreciate that, especially not cleaning it up like my cats don't clean it up. It's almost like this, um, what would you say? Like they're innocent, right? So you don't expect much. I wouldn't say it's unconditional though. I wouldn't say that because, I mean, if I had a cat and I'm a cat person, and they just totally ignored me, they lived outside, they only came around to eat, and then I could never pet them or get any love. Yeah, I mean, I'd still feed them, but, I wouldn't be like with my girl, look, I love you so much. Right. So they do have to give me something back. But that's what it is, Savannah. If you have pets, right, you'll know what I'm talking about. I have a friend who has pugs. Pugs snore. One of her pugs poops on the floor all the time. Could you imagine her husband snoring and pooping on the floor? Are you kidding me? No. Those little pugs get away with everything. So think about it. Maybe that's one reason why we have pets because it's such an unusual type of love. Yeah, but that's what your higher self is talking about. Um, I really think our pets are ascended masters. I would like to come back in my next lifetime as one of my cats. I don't have to clean up poop. I don't have to work. I just sit in the window and look at birds, get my tummy rubbed, get fed. So, hang on. This is interesting. So, acknowledge that type of love. But guess what? Your higher self has that kind of love for you. I never, ever thought of that before. I'm going to have to write that down. That it's not that you are a pet to your higher self, but that's the way it feels about you, that you can do no wrong. I got to write that down. I'm just going to put higher self pets and I'll think more about that. That is really interesting to me. And that's how I learn stuff by reading people. So, Savannah, thank you. Yeah, we need a word for that kind of love. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Do I have time for one more? Yes, I have time for one more. Kevin. Kevin and I got out to a great start today. We both seem to have a hard time with time zones. Okay, off he goes. Okay. All right, we're ready. Okay. Instead of a drum roll, we'll do a shuffle. I think this is the same Kevin. I think so. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, this is actually the Lover's card in this deck. It's Harmony. Harmony. It's a good Elton John song from Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Remember that song if you guys are of that age? Let's see what your higher self says about it. All right. It's about releasing discord that brings you to harmony. So if this were my reading, the best way that I can communicate, and that's really the challenge of my job, it's so easy to read, but to be able to communicate the nuance of what I'm sensing. So for you, Kevin, really watch when you're fussy. Um, I'm not saying don't be fussy because, of course, we're humans, we get fussy. But there is a healing and a teaching, a learning by noticing what fusses you. Boy, I'll tell you, it would be really cool if you just had this mental um, journal in your head that you could go, okay, this morning I woke up and by 20 minutes I was fussy about this. And then 7 minutes later I was fussy about that. That would really be beneficial, but of course it's impractical. How could you possibly do that? So maybe this is what I might do. I might review it at night. What made me the fussiest today? Right? The number one fussy uh, creator, right? What created the number one fussy thing for me? And then contemplate that. You know, one thing that really helps me is gratitudes. I've told this story before. You know, I work out and I play racquetball, so I have a lot of laundry. I mean, I'll go through 3 shirts a day, right? And I remember I had all my clothes on my bed, and my cats were watching me, and I'm like, oh God, I gotta fold this laundry again. I'm like, wait a minute. I've had lifetimes where I had to walk miles to a river to bang my clothes between 2 rocks. Are you kidding me? This is fantastic. I love my washer and dryer. And I started to fold, right? That's what I think your higher self is talking about. To bring harmony is to know what causes disharmony and go deeper into it. Maybe you'll find, that this person said this to me, or this person didn't do this for me. That made me really fussy. And then think about that. Well, why did that make me fussy? I mean, they can do whatever they want to do. I do whatever I want to do. Huh. Do you see what I mean? So I almost want to say, pick your number one fuss maker every day and go through it until you've gotten to the bottom of it. It's like, well, wait a minute. Why did I get so fussy about that? We could all do that. That's why I love this live stream, because I learned so much. And probably, even if I didn't get a chance to read you, which I'm so sorry, you probably got something out of other people's readings. One last thing I want to say. The reason I don't answer questions, I always like to say this, because you may not want everybody on this live stream to hear the answer. Yeah. So I would try to pick a topic. All right, my friends, that concludes the live stream for July. Now, it's easy to remember. It's the fourth Thursday of every month at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. And it's streamed on Golden Rose's YouTube channel. So if you just go to YouTube, go to Golden Rose, you'll see, and you click live, you'll see the little things there, and you can push the notify me button. I'll put up next month's tomorrow, so you can do that, right? And then you'll just get notification. If you're not into Facebook, I know sometimes Facebook is hard to navigate. I have a hard time navigating Facebook. So anyway, thank you so much for the opportunity. You can't be a psychic without people to read, and I sure do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Until next month, we'll call that a healing. Bye.